guys, welcome to a video review for 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which is available for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So despite me never playing the previous 50 Cent game, Bulletproof, I can say that I walked into this experience playing Blood on the Sand with a fresh mind. I didn't know what I was going to expect, and I actually walked away kind of satisfied. It's an alright game, and it adds for a lot of laughs, and definitely it's a blast to play through. So the story of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is pretty simple and really silly, to say the least. Of course, you play as 50 Cent, and him and his members from G Unit basically are in this Middle Eastern country, and they're on tour doing a performance. They walk off of the stage because it's the end of the concert, and they're looking for their money so they can leave and go back to New York. And basically there isn't any money there for them. So there's a guy that offers 50 and the members of the G Unit, he offers them a diamond encrusted skull, which is just ridiculous. Okay, so he's offered this diamond encrusted skull. Being 50's gonna take it. So 50 takes the diamond encrusted skull and he leaves, and he is hijacked on his way out. And the whole game is basically 50 Cent trying to get back the diamond encrusted skull. There, I said it. How silly is that? It's a silly story, but it adds for, there's a lot of twists and turns and shadiness going on. And to be quite honest, you're really not going to be interested in the story, because I wasn't. It was just kind of silly.
He covered it in diamonds when she died.
The gameplay, on the other hand, is really fun, and it's pretty solid despite what you may think. So yeah, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is a third-person shooter, which is similar to the likes of Gears of War and The Club. It's similar to Gears of War because it has the whole cover system, which works pretty well. I mean, of course, it's not as advanced as the Gears of War cover system, but it does what it does. Okay, it works all right. And I say it's similar to The Club because it has this whole multiplier system where it keeps track of your scores. So you have to link your kills together in order to get a higher score. So if an enemy comes up on the screen, a bunch of enemies, you try to kill all of them before your meter falls down, and then you'll link up your chain. Sometimes you can get like massacres, killing sprees, stuff like that. It's pretty fun, and it adds for a lot of replayability to get higher scores on each level. Blood on the Sand also offers Gangsta Fire mode. Yes, I said Gangsta Fire mode, which is similar to bullet time. So you can slow down time, and it's to your advantage because you can kill your enemies pretty quick, and it's a lot of fun, I guess. So you can play as either 50 Cent, or you can join into a co-op game or play multiplayer with someone else, and you can play as any member of G Unit. You have Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, and DJ Who Kid. And when you're playing single player, you'll play as 50, and you'll have an AI controlled sidekick. And they're pretty functional. The AI is pretty cool, but when you get on the hardest difficulty, it starts to become really frustrating. They don't really do as much as they really should, and they only use one type of gun. It's pretty frustrating, but I mean, if you stick to it, you'll manage to get through it. But yeah, the gameplay is pretty solid. It's surprisingly, it's a lot of fun and a blast to play. Now the graphics overall look pretty good. I can't really complain because the character models are very detailed, especially 50 Cent. He looks probably the best out of all of the characters in the game. Even though sometimes when you get up close, let's say he's crouching behind cover, his eyes kind of look dead. I don't know what it is. Like, it's kind of creepy. You look into his eyes and it just looks kind of weird. But other than that, I mean, the character models look pretty cool. You won't see a lot of different environments, which is kind of upsetting. I know this game is called Blood on the Sand, so you're going to be in a lot of sand environments, war-torn type of sandy town looking places. I mean, it's really silly, but if there were more environments, that would be great. But the environments that are offered, you have like your war-torn town, you have like a mansion, you know, it's not a lot of environments at all, but they are for the most part detailed. You also have some car sequences in the game. You have a car sequence, and you have a helicopter sequence, and the vehicle models look pretty good. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's also interesting to see when you're blowing things up. The explosions look really good in this game. I mean, I will say the explosions look awesome. Things will just get gray sometimes when there's so much stuff that's being blown up. It's pretty cool. The cutscenes look alright as well. Although sometimes it does seem to lag a bit on some of the cutscenes. I don't know if it's my copy of the game or maybe my 360, but I did experience a lot of lags during cutscenes. The sound is another ridiculous part of the game just because of the voice acting. The voice acting is so overdone, and there's just way too many cheesy one-liners that Fiddy tries to pull off that it's ridiculous, but it's hilarious at the same time. Like, you know, G-Unit tried way too hard to make this game sound, or to make the game sound so serious, and it's not really that serious, but it's just so funny to hear such crazy voice acting. I mean, it just sounds too overdone. There is a lot of cussing and vulgar statements made in this game, so if you're playing around young ones, yeah, you might not want to, because there's just a lot of cursing in this game. But, I mean, I will say that if you're a fan of 50 Cent's music, then you'll probably be pleased, because the one cool thing about this sound is that it has all of his, or not, I won't say all of his songs, but there's some songs in the game that basically play in the background as you're playing the game, so that's pretty cool. You can also choose to customize your playlist, which is pretty cool. So if you like certain songs, you can pick those songs to play, you know, constantly throughout your game, and that's really cool. I mean, you can listen to 50 Cent talking about killing people, and then you can play actually as 50 Cent killing people. I mean, the 2 and 2 go together. That's awesome. Now, you know, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand has a lot of value, but I don't know if it's worth $60 per se. There are 9 missions in the entire game, and there's 5 chapters throughout most of the missions. So, you know, it takes a good maybe 8 or 9 hours to complete. There are 3 difficulty levels. You have easy, medium, and hard. Might take you a little bit longer on hard, just because some parts of the game become a little frustrating, especially if you're playing with an AI-controlled member of G-Unit. There's also in the game posters scattered throughout all of the levels, and targets as well. So if you want to be a completionist, you can go back and try to get all of the targets and all of the posters in the game. And you know, you can also try to get all gold medals, because depending on how well you do throughout the game, you receive a bronze medal, a silver medal, or a gold medal. So if you want to get all gold medals to unlock more stuff, then you have to be able to kill more people and pull off more objectives and mini objectives and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. You can also unlock weapons, and you can upgrade your weapons. There's a lot of you know, different variations of guns. You have different melee moves, different posters, different taunts that you can say, more vulgar things to say to your enemies before you kill them. By no means will this game blow your mind away, but it's a blast to play through. It's just mindless fun. With all that being said, my final score for 50 Cent, yes, 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, is a 7.5.